Hi, and welcome to the Agile Framework Intro Series by Jeremy Barrio. This series, we go through different Agile frameworks, giving you that high-level understanding of the tools and the toolbox involved in being Agile. So, let's get to it. Hello, and this week we are going to talk about DSDM. Asking, what is DSDM? Well, DSDM means Dynamic System Development Method. So, to learn more about it, it was developed back in 1994, and part of it was to complement RAD, which is Rapid Application Development. And what it meant to do was to provide more discipline, help with planning, and in the end it became its own framework for many different projects. So we need to understand that it's not just for software development. It can be used in technology and non-technology projects. It has a project life cycle, and the foundations were built on governance and uses Agile principles and focuses more on user involvement. The three key things to understand about DSDM is that there is a fixed cost, there is a fixed quality, and there is a fixed time. It uses Moscow prioritization. If you don't know what Moscow is, it is must-haves, should-haves, could-haves, or won't do at this time. So when we go through it, there are Agile principles with it. It focuses on small teams. There is team empowerment. It is iterative in development and provides some transparency. So when we look at it, like, teams are consistent. There's a continuous learning. There is effective communication across, and it does address risks as things are being developed. Now, this is a high-level view of DSDM. There is a lot of components within it. There is a method, a deeper method in how it all works. So again, keep in mind that this is a very high-level view of DSDM. So when we look at the high-level architecture of it, there is the philosophy around it. There are the principles. And the components within it are dealing with process, with people, products, and practices. And overall, there is a common sense and pragmatism that are involved throughout. So the one thing that we need to understand with this is that it flips the scripts with project management and project development, in the fact that the features are negotiable. And that's why you have that Moscow method. Quality is not negotiable. Time is not negotiable. And you're delivering value. So if we look at, in most projects where they're kind of, scope is not negotiable, maybe time is, and quality, no, there is a fixed time as to when things are to be delivered. There is a fixed set of quality measures that have to be attained, and it's the features. So when we look at in the Moscow method, so must have, should have, could have, would have. So when you're going through the project, you're using that method to determine what needs to be developed. And we'll go through a little bit further as to where you'll see a lot of this work being done. What we can consider now is the roles within it. Unlike in Agile, other Agile frameworks where they have kind of specific roles identified as like Scrum Master, Product Owner, Product Manager, here in DSDM, probably based on the time as to when it was developed, there are more traditional roles that are used within the project. And these roles are split into three areas. you'll have your solution development team, which is key, but they'll be on project level and sponsoring level as well. So when we look at the project level, so in DSDM, they break things out in colors depending on who's using them. So from a project level, you'll have orange, which would be business sponsors and business visionaries. You'll have green, which are maybe technical coordinator. Well, you have blue, which would be your project manager. And you'll have some that will have a mix in between. Actually, you only have one that'll be a mix in between, which is the business analyst, which is green, orange. So the green and orange, and there's also gray where you have your facilitator going through and your DSDM coach. The way to see it is orange represents business interest, green represents the solution technical interest, blue is your management interest, and gray is your process interest. So when we go through these roles, you'll understand that anything in gray. So you have gray, which is your workshop facilitator and DSDM coach. They're there to help get through the framework, get through the processes and ensure delivery. When you look at green, you'll have like business advisor, you'll have solution tester, solution developer, and mix in with your technical coordinator and your business analyst. And then your blue, which would be your project manager and team leader, and orange, which is your business administrator, your business visionary, your business sponsor. So you can see that from a traditional aspect, you have all the similar type roles as from a traditional waterfall type project. But what they've done here was they've kind of put them in different areas so that everyone understands what they're responsible for, or what they're accountable for. And where you see a lot of this is in the phases within the project, within the framework. So your initial is you have your project, your pre-project phase, where you start getting an understanding of where you're looking at business cases and understanding whether there's value within this project. Once that phase is done, then you go into a feasibility phase where you're looking at kind of more understanding, doing the value analysis, ensuring that this project will continue. And then you go into a foundations where you're kind of going in through requirements, understanding what needs to be built, getting that high level view of user stories and such. And then there is where your iterations come in your project development. And you have a continuous flow and iterative development, building out the products, communicating with the users, communicating with the business owners throughout the different colors, so to speak. And then you have your fixed date for your deployment. And then once you deploy, then you have a post-project view where you're kind of working through and finding areas of improvement for the future project. What is different is you also have, and you've seen before where you saw a workshop facilitator. Well, workshops are areas where you can get that additional information for certain things or certain requirements. And they're built out throughout the entire set of phases where you can iron out those issues or those concerns, or iron out additional details needed to build or to go on. And within this, you have a set of products of what is being built. And you'll see it as either evolutionary, which is stuff that is over time, it's continuously revamped and built. And you'll have milestones, which is more specific and they're time-based. So as we go through, you'll see stuff like use cases and feasibility assessments. So a feasibility assessment would be a milestone because it's time boxed. You need that to review. You have your benefits assessment, which is a milestone type product. Some of the evolutionary products would be more on the requirements and kind of technical work and architecture, because those need to be evolved over time to ensure that your projects or programs you're getting the value that you need in the end. So there are principles within it. So you'll have it's focused on business need, which is similar to Agile delivery. You're delivering on time, which is a little bit, depending on how you view it, on delivery within sprints or Agile delivery. It's high on collaborating. You never compromise on quality. You're building things incrementally based on structured, firm foundations. You're developing iteratively as well, and you're communicating continuously with users and ensuring that everything is clear and understandable, and you're demonstrating control throughout. So if you look at RAD, and that will be a future video, but as a high level, RAD was kind of go, get the work done and develop. What DSDM does is it provides that structure in it and control so that things don't get too out of hand. So we understand, where can we use it? You can use this in software delivery, as we discussed. There are non-software projects where you can use this, and it's additional. As we go through all these different frameworks, communication is key to ensure that there is that feedback. There's that loop that goes in so you understand. And when we want to be understanding, we want to ensure that we're still being agile. We're going out ensuring that we have those behaviors and efficient organization adaptiveness and employee satisfaction is there, because we're finding out, we're going from the why to the how. So all these discussions regarding frameworks, these are the whats. The why and the how develop first helps determine which tool, which what you want to find. So we want to keep that teams are improved, the overall teamwork. We want to ensure that teams are being agile and the improved communication between everyone. So we want to continuously break through. We want to break through that wall, and instead of just doing agile, we want to be agile. So what we're discussing here is the frameworks across it. So your success is our priority. So you want to continue the conversation, contact us through Barrio & Associates or through my email at jbarrio. There is also, at the end credits of this, you'll find a QR code to schedule a free 1-hour call to discuss this or any other Agile issues you may have. From a reference perspective, this was based off of information initially from this Wikipedia site and some additional information from the links that involved it. Thank you.